So here we are again with another vlog. This time next week I'll be doing my civil law exam. So just think about that for a moment. Nerves are there, I'll be honest. I'm a bit nervous for next week, but I'm just revising, just getting on with as much as I can. I'm actually heading out to civil law supervision. We've decided to put on an extra supervision just in preparation, of course, for next week's exam. So I'm heading over to Clare Hall for that, and then probably just head back and get on with some revision. The supervision was helpful, final chance to ask some questions and managed to get a few things clarified, which was helpful. I did say I was going to go back to college. I'm actually going to try and get into the university library and just do some revision there for this afternoon. So yeah, I ended up spending most of the afternoon and into the evening at the university library, did some revision for civil law, going through the Roman law of property, and as well as doing some revision for constitutional law and for tort law, and I did manage to have dinner as well. Probably go to bed soon, and I'll hopefully see you in the morning. I'll probably just be getting on with some more revision in the library today. Probably get some breakfast first, and then, like I said, head to the library. Probably do some constitutional law revision first. So I've just decided to take a break for lunch. I've just been doing some revision for constitutional law, going over my notes on human rights, and probably head to the library in a moment and just get on with some more revision. Spent the afternoon just first of all doing some more revision for constitutional law, and then doing some revision for civil law, going through Roman law of contract, and then I had dinner with my friends, which was nice, and then just got on with some more revision for criminal law, looking at duress by threats and duress by circumstances. And now it's time for me to go to bed. So I'll probably just begin on with some more revision today. As you can see, I'm using this website known as Quizlet, and it basically allows me to create flashcards. So these are just some flashcards for criminal law, looking at the defences of duress by threats and circumstances. And yeah, it's quite helpful because not only can you go through it as flashcards, but you can also test yourself, matching games. There's different ways that you can test your knowledge and your memory. So this has been quite useful. What I decided to do was to first of all do some civil law revision looking at the Roman law of contract. Then I took a quick 15-minute break and then looked at some delict law as well. I've just been to the shops to get a few things in. Probably going to have some lunch now, but there's also something else that I need to do as well. So here we are with the laundry segment again. As you can see, I've bought 2 bags this time. Thought I'd do just a bigger load this time. So I'll put that in. I will then have something to eat for lunch and get on with some revision whilst the 40-minute cycle gets underway. From laundry, I did some revision for constitutional law, going through the rule of law and the separation of powers. I also looked at the recent case that came out known as Piracy International from the Supreme Court. I then took a break for dinner, then did some revision for criminal law, and then did a bit of tort revision going through the Ryans v Fletcher line of cases. And yeah, it's been quite a productive day actually. I managed to get what I wanted to do, or most of the things I wanted to get revised, done today, completed, so I'm pleased with that. With it being Sunday, there is brunch today, of course, so that'll be good. And then there is something else on this afternoon. Probably first of all, before brunch, I'm just going to do a couple of things that I've recorded in my growth book on the section titled To Do. So there's a couple of things I need to do before even do any revision today, just so I can get those out of the way rather than leaving them to the last minute. So I managed to get most of the things on the to-do list done before brunch. Then I had brunch, which was delicious, and then just got on with some civil law revision, looking at the Roman law of contract. I've actually just come back from laser tag. Yes, you heard me, laser tag. So they just it was a 10-minute session. We were able to go up against each other, but it was really good fun actually. I came 5th out of 10, which I'm pleased with. I did not expect that, but it was just good fun and just something nice. As as a nice break from revision, and to relax ourselves and probably head back to the library and just get on with some more revision. Mainly just been spending the rest of the day doing some revision. So after laser tag, I did some revision for constitutional law, going through my notes on the recent privacy international case, as well as going through some notes in relation to membership of the EU and the British Constitution. I then took a break for dinner and afterwards did some revision for criminal law, and then did some revision for tort law, going through occupiers' liability and the cases for that. Not long till the exams now. Must be my exams start Thursday, and today is it's come to the end of Sunday, so not long now. So it's about 3 days now till my first exam for civil law. So what I really need to be doing is just getting on with as much revision as I can, but also just taking those breaks where necessary. So probably I'll go and get some breakfast now and then go to the library. So I've so far just been spending the day just doing some revision for civil law and just going through the various topics for contract, delict and for property. I'm just taking a break now just to relax for a little bit. I'll read a bit of my book and then probably just get on with some constitutional law revision afterwards. I've been doing some revision for constitutional law, going through my notes on human rights. And then I went to the shops to get a few things in, and I've just had dinner, so I'll probably just head back to the library now and just get on with some revision, probably for criminal law and for tort law. For criminal law, I went through my notes that I made on the articles that I had gathered in relation to theft and consent, in particular in relation to non-fatal offences, and then did some revision for tort law, going through valente and contributing negligence. I've just had a look at a couple of previous exam questions for civil law as well in preparation for Thursday. I'll probably go to bed now. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. I've got what will be my actual final supervision for this year. That'll be for tort this afternoon. But beforehand, probably just get on with some revision for my civil law and for my constitutional law exams, which I've got this week. So I've just been spending the day so far, first of all doing some revision for civil law, and then after lunch I just did some revision for constitutional law, going through judicial review. Heading now to Jesus College for what will be my final tort law supervision. This one's a revision based supervision, so yeah, it should be good. I'm back in my room from having had my tort supervision, and it was really helpful actually. So we submitted some questions beforehand that we needed some answers to, some clarification on, and a supervisor went through them, and that certainly helped me in terms of the questions I submitted. And that was actually our last supervision. So the supervisions are over, the lectures are over, and it does feel like in terms of first year everything's coming to an end. But of course that means the next stage of course is exams that are coming up soon. I'll probably head back to the library, get on with some revision for maybe criminal and tort to start with, and then see what I can do afterwards. Firstly, I made some online flashcards for criminal law and for tort law and looked a little bit through that. And then afterwards just did some revision for civil law. I'll probably go to bed now, it's getting late. I'll see you in the morning. In a little over a day, I'll be starting my civil law exam. So probably today I'll just be focusing on doing as much revision for civil law as possible, but also taking breaks as well. Maybe do a little bit of constitutional revision as well, just to have a little change in what I'm revising. But that's probably the main plan for today. Am I feeling? I'm alright at the moment actually, but let's just get on with revision and let's get started. So I've just had something for lunch, having just done some revision for civil law and just making sure I'm going through all my notes for that. Probably just head back. I'm in one of the study rooms that are available. I'll probably just do some constitutional law revision to start off with for Friday's exam, and then probably get on with some more civil law revision afterwards. So I initially did some revision for civil law in one of the study rooms that was available, and then after lunch I just went and sat outside actually to do some revision for constitutional law for the exam that's on Friday. I've just come back from the shops to get a few things in that I needed, and I'll probably just have dinner now and get on with some more civil law revision, but also there is one thing that I need to do as well. Welcome back to the Law Snapshot segment. So for those who saw my previous vlog, we went through murder, which is an example of a homicide offence. Another example is that of involuntary manslaughter, and there are two main established variants of involuntary manslaughter. You've got unlawful act manslaughter and gross negligence manslaughter. Unlawful act manslaughter has 4 elements to it. So first of all, you need an unlawful act, and that's generally is a base offence, so whether that be battery that leads to death. So you've got a base offence by which obviously then causes death, so that's the unlawful act. Has to be generally a crime, it can't be a tort, and it has to be criminal per se. That once you've got established an unlawful act, the act has to be then dangerous. This is according to the case of Church. So it must be such that all sober and reasonable person would inevitably recognise would subject the other person to the risk of at least some harm, albeit not serious harm. Once you've got dangerousness, you then have to prove that the unlawful and dangerous act caused death, and you have to prove causation. And then you have to prove that there's the mens rea, and this is you have to have the intention to do the act which was unlawful and dangerous, i.e. you have to have the intention for the base offence, but you don't have to know that the act was unlawful or dangerous, and that's based on the case of Newbury. The other variant, as I mentioned, was gross negligence manslaughter, and this is based on the case of Ademaco. So there are elements to this as well. So first of all, you need a duty of care. You then have to breach that duty. It then has to give rise to an obvious and serious risk of death. The death then has to be caused by that breach of duty, so causation again, and the breach has to be gross. So it can't just be a simple negligence, it has to be gross negligence, hence was the name of the offence. So those are the 2 established ones. There is a third one, and it's known as recklessness manslaughter, and this is based on the case of Lidar in 1999. So there are essentially two elements to it. So first of all, you have to, obviously the conduct has to cause death, but in particular with this variant, the defendant has to subjectively foresee a risk of death, and then obviously has to then unjustifiably pursue that risk, and obviously as a result, then you've got the death of the victim. Now, there's academic debate about whether or not it still has a place. And that's just a brief summary of involuntary manslaughter. I hope you've found that interesting. If you have, put any ideas or comments or any questions, if you weren't sure about something I said, in the comment section below. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. Yeah, thanks for being here for the segment. I'll see you in the next one. So I've just been spending the rest of the day doing as much revision for the civil law exam, because that is tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I'm probably going to go to bed now so I can get enough sleep. And with that comes the end of another vlog. If you've enjoyed it, then don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to hit the notification bell, don't forget to share the video, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, don't forget to also comment if you've got any questions or anything you want to point out. And you can also subscribe to my channel by clicking here, and you can see my previous vlog by clicking here. And I look forward to seeing you